Hi, my name is Ryan, and today we're going to be joined by Ian.
Hi,
Hello, Ian.
how's it
Uh,
going?
and we're going to be watching our playthrough of our fights against all the Bloodborne bosses. Um, just to give our commentary, some tips, and just see how we felt and what the experience was like.
Yeah, so we decided to make these videos basically because we had tried Elden Ring, loved it. I had played Sekiro, thought that was great, and we decided to go back and play these original games and see what their experiences were and make these videos for other people who might want to try these games as well, either from Elden Ring or for the very first time as well. You should have went down to that guy and got the guy with the Gatling gun just beating up the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, that guy with the wheelchair, I killed him multiple times, I'd say, at this stage. This boss fight,
Right.
actually, I don't know, you can see I have four blood vials left.
Oh my god.
I think I had to fight the Cleric Beast like 10 plus times to beat him.
I was about to say, going through the fog door on your first boss, that's really embarrassing, man. I think when we get to my footage, you'll see I went straight through. There was no bother.
This is my successful attempt.
And
I was really conservative with my blood vials and mostly focusing on heavy attacks.
yeah, and you very nearly fell into the trap that all From Software games love to throw you into. The second you walked in, he pushed you right up against the wall, and the camera just was almost unusable.
I
And
actually
it's the
found
same right here. It's the same right here. You're up against his leg, and you can't see anything. You can't see if he's going to go for an attack or not. But hey, you got a good stun there, so
I actually know what you're saying, but in this instance, I was actually trying to get up his hole because I found that I was having my most successful times
yeah,
against him here, except for there.
yeah. He's shown you the one reason why is he can't. But this is the whole thing about the Cleric Beast is, and I find that From Software is really good at teaching you these things. It's like each boss is almost like a mini lesson, especially at the start. Now,
Yeah, this
I want
this
to
this
point out.
part glitched out on me, and I was like, "What is going on?" My first Bloodborne boss.
So you're
I
doing your
was
best Michael Jackson impression.
I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna hit him," and then luckily the game kicked back in.
That's really strange. I wish that happened during my run. But yeah. So as I was saying about like, I mean, this guy's like there's gonna be loads of times in this game where you're gonna be against a much larger guy in a small confined space, and you just have to like this is teaching you dodging. This is teaching you get behind him, get the heavy attack, or even just as you'll see on my playthrough, a lot of 1-2s in and outs.
Yeah, and here I could see like I remember now. I got him down below half health, so I was like, "Okay, I deserve to use a blood vial now." Whereas before, I was just running through them too quickly.
Yeah,
And
as you see,
actually,
I chose a different weapon than you. I went for the saw cleaver instead of the axe.
exactly, yeah. So our playstyle started slightly different, but I
Yeah,
think we'll see as it goes on. We start to diverge a little bit in terms of what weapons we use and where we're putting our stats a little bit.
exactly. And you see, I have a lot more blood vials, but at the same time, I use no, but at the same time, I used them a lot more. I was not conservative, and I'm swinging a miss there. A lot of you see that you can see that already the difference in play style. It's in, it's one, it's back, it's heal probably. Oh, I
Yeah,
got greedy.
I was more just sitting there and like if he hits me, fuck it.
I think you lived on the R2 button during this fight, while I never even touched it. I never even knew it existed.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, you're more of a light attacks guy, and
Yeah.
we've had this conversation a few times about backstabs, and you still haven't used one, so
Oh no, no,
it's evident there.
I used one in the DLC. I
Oh,
got
did you?
all the way to
Okay.
the DLC without using one. I snuck up on this one guy who was standing there and said, "Fuck it, this is my go." But
And did you
yeah, you
fist him?
see, oh, completely, but not to the stage where like you want to get a footage of you doing it to the pig because that's just amazing and awful at the same time.
I think we're gonna have to fucking get some footage of
Oh,
that.
because I'll go film it now after this.
Cool.
We'll get it. But I think I look thinking back about this. You see, I have the Molotovs equipped. I think I get a good stun on him with this, or I just chuck
Finish
it
him.
at him, hoping something would happen. Oh yeah, something that you can see what I'm if just to explain what I'm trying to do here. The parry system in Bloodborne is my favorite thing about the game. Is you use a gun or use an offhand weapon to parry now instead of a shield. Now you can use a shield, but they're much more rare. And what I'm trying to do is I'm testing to see can I actually parry this boss. because I had
Let's be
no
honest
clue up
though,
to this stage.
shields in this game are
Useless.
you don't use them.
No, it's because, especially due to the health recovery system, this game rewards aggression. Now, that's saying that while I'm dancing around miles away from him at the moment isn't the best, but
In fairness, it was
it
the
does.
first boss as well, like so you're still
Yeah, and my
a
health's
bit trepid,
full.
you're a bit of trepidation, like.
And yeah, exactly. And also, I had full health, so I didn't need to be aggressive in the sense of regaining anything.
Yeah. See the way
Yeah.
you're shooting him actually. I I noticed that if you shoot him twice in the head, it does stun him, and you can go in
Oh,
for
cool.
a parry then.
Okay.
Father Gascoigne.
Love this guy.
This is my run, I think, first,
Yeah.
so it's not gonna
Again,
be
you saw
as
you come
nice.
through a fog door.
Yeah. This one didn't take me as many
I got
attempts.
about 2 or 3 bosses first attempt before dying, and I was very proud of it. Until when that first, it was almost a relief though when you got that first death, and I was just like, I had died obviously in the game, just
Yeah,
not like
not to a boss.
I'm amazing.
I think we can start to see my playstyle come alive in this one as well. I
Yeah,
always try to
exactly.
dodge behind them.
And like you'll see it in mine that I'd known like, oh, there's actually little ways of beating him easier, but I made it more difficult for myself in standard fashion, where there is an NPC who gives you an item for this boss,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, the music box. Where do you get that
yeah,
actually again?
you got it just near a lamp. There's a thing about this game actually where a lot of the NPCs, especially in early game, are just behind windows and doors, and the way they indicate that they're there and willing to talk to you is that there's a red light outside the houses or windows. So like a standard yellow light or lantern will be sitting there, but this one will be red, and that's you're like, oh, there's actually someone to talk to over there. And this little child, which is by far the most horrific NPC I've ever met in a game, like in terms of there is no cheerfulness in this. She begs you to find her mom because she's gone to find her daddy, Father Gascoigne.
Sorry, I was
Um,
really lucky to not die there.
yeah, and so she gives you this music box saying, "Mammy always uses to calm Dad down." And if you find her, please, she wears a red brooch, and you would have just seen it about 2 seconds ago in the background through that tree. There's a little item over there, just there behind you. That's the red brooch because Daddy killed Mammy, and had a good time doing it. But
Yeah,
yeah, once he gets to this form now, you can use the music box, and he'll start to. I actually think he might be able to use it in human form too.
I
And
think so. I think you can use it in both forms.
he'll run back, holding his head in pain, and just gives you time to either heal or run in for shots.
Yeah, you can see here he's a bit more aggressive, but I
Yeah,
think you can time your dodges right. You can get behind him and stagger him. I think I do it here.
You'll see it. Nice. You'll see it on my run. He does that about 4 times in a row, and I cannot get up. And I'm convinced each time this is it. This is where I die.
I think Father Gascoigne is probably one of the more interesting bosses of the start of the game. Like, it
Oh yeah,
really
definitely.
has a lot of stuff. It has a real second phase and everything. Like,
Okay,
I can't really determine what the second phase of the Cleric Beast is, really, can you?
no, not really. It's just more
Just a
aggressive
few
and
screams and
wailing.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's me coming in, not knowing, testing the waters. You can see I have the music box that I mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah, you have it in your inventory straight away. Cool.
Well, that's just because I was just assuming like there's no point flicking through. I didn't have much in terms of items at this stage. I am just getting shot in the face at this point.
I think you do really well in this first phase. Like, here you get a
Yeah,
visceral attack.
yeah. At the start, I was like, my God, I'm nailing this in terms of just like I think I get another visceral fairly soon after this, and it's when you get to the werewolf phase, he just banters me around.
Yeah, I think I remember watching you play this before, and you weren't dodging into him, which is one thing that you should really do in Souls games is to
Yeah,
dodge into the enemy rather than away.
and yeah, and it can matter which way in. So if you're going to dodge in towards his right, see he's swinging the blade with his right hand side. So if you
Exactly.
come that way, that'll help. And definitely some of the bigger ones like Cleric Beast or Ludwig, who we'll meet much later on. He has a massive one arm, so if you can dodge away from that, sorry, through it rather than
Yes.
with it, you'll. There we go. There's the second visceral,
Nice second visceral.
and
Should bring him straight into his second phase then.
I think I get a few quick hits in, and then he starts to hold his head. Yeah. I did not realize I'd have an AoE to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see that I tried to take out the music box immediately and not realizing I was getting shoved around.
Yeah, he has a nice lunge, doesn't he?
Yeah, there we go. And I think he gets me again. Yeah, and again. Do I get the heal off? I nearly got caught in the scenery like I mentioned
Oh,
with
stop.
Cleric Beast.
It's like
Here we
pure
go.
panic, like you can see it.
Yeah, it's just like, get away from me. The thing is, you can use the gravestones in this to, like, because some of them are unbreakable, so you can just kite them around a bit. Like now, like there's the music box in work.
Oh yeah, okay. So
And
it's
I'm like,
properly stunned, like.
yeah, and you get about 4. See, if I hadn't run away from someone, I got about 6 hits in there without, and I had to run over to him. If I was much closer, which is obviously much more dangerous, you'll get it. I think he destroys him for a few seconds here, and again, and again.
But you can see as well, you're constantly backing up, whereas if you had dodged into him, you probably would have just got behind him and wailed on him.
But that's the thing of it being, I was like, again, just like, I'm not risking anything, I'm just going to shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, it being a first attempt, you don't know his patterns, you're like not sure about everything.
Okay,
I know
so
this is you.
This is me again, yeah, this is the Bloodstar Beast, and I have to admit, I used the summon for this one. And it actually,
like we could.
I didn't like using the summon, to be honest, and I didn't use the summon again in the rest of the playthrough.
Yeah, no, me neither. I used one much later in the DLC, not in a boss fight, just, it was in the middle of nowhere, and I just wanted to see what they would do if I summoned them.
Yeah.
They immediately ran into 3 enemies and died.
Of all summons as well, Alfred, like, he's a little kind of a Boy Scout kind of like do-gooder kind of.
On that exact note, wait till you see what I do to Alfred later. We were talking about this last night, and I was just like, I form a very quick opinion of Alfred later on in the game, and I decide very rapidly what I'm going to do.
One thing I want to point out for anyone that is playing this for the first time, the Bloodstar Beast has a really easy strategy that you can use to beat him. You can get these pure blood, or pungent pure blood, I think it's called. It's an item of
pungent pungent pure blood cocktail.
Cocktail, yes, I knew I was forgetting a word. But basically, you can throw it into the corner, and he'll like slowly walk towards it, and you can just basically kick the shit out of him while he goes to it.
It's also a good item just for hordes if you want to try throwing a few people away.
Yeah, true.
And you can see he has a slow poison build-up just from being near him that you're dealing with, and you're actually getting hit with it there.
Yeah.
So do watch out for that on this boss.
Yeah, the poison's actually the worst.
Yeah, well, no, I hate Frenzy, man. We'll get to Frenzy at a later stage. But,
you can see as well, I'm using the fire paper, which is effective against, especially all the early bosses, but beast type bosses are usually weak to fire.
And I want to point out that Bloodstar Beast has an amazing move that doesn't do a lot of damage. He might do it right here, which I loved because it's just so annoying. He shoots from in between one side of these columns to another, completely breaking your lock on and just making you just that little bit disoriented.
It's actually funny watching the old playback. I haven't watched this fight as much, but I feel so slow. Like I'm like, why am I like
not moving, not getting around? But that's what I love about these games. Like you start off, and even no matter how good you are, even into much later boss fights, you go into these boss fights thinking, my god, some of these are impossible. Like, am I ever going to be able to beat this boss? And you go in, and then suddenly it's like, I can do this. I've gotten half health down. Maybe I've gotten to a second stage. And then you get to the second stage easier, and that's what I love about these games.
Look at me cowering behind the fucking the pillar and everything.
Any strat that gets you to pray slaughtered is a win.
True. I don't know what happened here as well. He kind of gets stuck in the wall, I think. So I just
what is with you and glitches and bosses?
Yeah.
Like
2 out of 3 so far. I use all my Molotov cocktails here.
Just peppering them with them. See, the thing is, I think he might. Oh, yeah, gee, actually, I've never actually watched the footage of this fight before from you.
Now I use a bunch of blood cocktail.
Yeah, he's hardly gonna move anywhere. He's being glitched into the wall.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think he's stuck in the wall.
I want on the record for everyone else, I didn't have this luxury. Never has a boss been glitched out of something or something happened for me.
And now he's dead.
This is bullshit. I've never seen this. Okay.
So now we'll see a better
A
playthrough.
normal run.
No summons.
No, but no glitching into walls either.
I
I
think
cannot.
something to point out for people as well. You're using the saw cleaver, and I was using the hunter's axe. Hunter's axe is brilliant now. I really loved using it. Really fun to use when you're doing the spin,
Yeah,
charged attack and stuff. But the saw cleaver is serrated, and that does extra damage against beasts as well.
which is 100% a thing I knew going into this.
Is it?
I no, completely, man. I had all the scratch in. See, look, he's already doing that move there where he's jumping back and forth and he's not getting it. No, I had no clue going into this. I just picked the saw cleaver because I thought it was a good in-between weapon. I had tried the hunter's axe at this stage because you can go. It's not a thing that you have to. You're set to when you pick at the start. It's like you can go and get the others very easily.
Yeah.
And I just thought the hunter's axe in its single hand form was just not doing it for me, and then in its big form, which you were using throughout this whole fight, I just thought the range is there, but the speed wasn't. And I much
Yeah.
prefer, as I said, in my style of 1-2 in and out. And it's something I touched on there a second ago. Range was a major reason I turned off the saw cleaver in later stages with this. Once I got something with a bit more of a range, I immediately switched. Because you saw it in Cleric Beast, I was swinging a miss, and I fairly confident I do it in this fight too. And
Yeah, I think he's very hard to hit because he jumps around so much as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he stun locks. I think he can backstab him.
Again, we got to a point where I didn't have a backstab until 12, 15 bosses after this. And I still haven't done it to a boss.
What a backstab is, anyway, for anyone who doesn't know, is if you're directly behind them, like in line with the spine, and do a fully charged R2 attack, you will stun lock them, and you can do a visceral attack then. Follow it up with a visceral attack.
I think if you've done a normal parry with the gun and got behind them quick enough, you could do the backstab as your visceral instead of a standard front one.
I'm not sure. Do you parry him in this? Do you remember?
I can't remember if I managed to parry him with a Molotov, but not with a gun.
Some like bosses especially like just don't get staggered by the pistol.
No, it is something that you kind of have to worry about. That's why I love fighting the human enemies in terms of like human bosses. So you might see like Martyr Logarius later, or Gascoigne, or my favorite boss so far of the whole game in the DLC, Lady Maria. I just love her whole.
I have a love-hate relationship with her.
Oh, you're in for a treat when you see Ryan's playthrough of Lady Maria later.
I think I'll probably throw in some of the fails as well, because just to see the frustrations that I was going through.
You have got speedrunner energy in that thing. See, I had no clue where he was going at this stage, and I was like, what is he going to do?
You're doing very well, actually, in fairness. Like, you're not getting hit that much. The poison is kind of your only detriment.
Well, I had done a lot of... no, I did get a lot hit earlier on. You can see I used a lot of vials coming into this. You can see now he's in that second stage where he's just excreting poison into the air.
Yeah, I don't know if you can avoid that at this stage. Like, it looks like the build-up is always there, but you just can't let it reach max, basically, is it?
Yeah, it's if you can get away from it, it will go down.
Yeah.
I say again, I'm just swinging here, nothing really happened. I think at this stage he stands over there for a second for me. He doesn't get caught in the wall, so I just chuck one of my 2 Molotovs at him. I think I throw another one on him. Oh no, I do hit him.
For anyone that's interested as well, Arcane in your stats will boost your items' effectiveness. So if you have a high Arcane, your Molotovs will do more damage.
It'll also give you a higher chance of finding items, you know, of a higher drop rate from enemies.
Very true.
And trust me, when you're farming blood vials later, you will want a few points in Arcane.
Yeah. What's your points in Arcane? Is it around 15 or 16?
I think
not here, obviously, but
no, not here. I think at my current level, which is like in the 90s, I'm I was gonna say 16, between 16 and 18.
Okay, now we're going on to Vicar Amelia.
Vicar Amelia, yeah.
I have to be honest, this fight goes really well. It was the first boss fight against one of the bosses that has big limbs, and you'll see here I take full advantage of dealing with the limbs. The Beast Blood Pellets as well became one of my favorite things to use in this game. I think from this point on, I was like, okay, I love these things. You can see the Beast meter. It's only very small actually at the moment, but if you use your L2 attacks and well in the transform mode, and your transforming attacks, it fills up the Beast meter pretty quick.
I'm still to use one.
But yeah, you can see here you can completely stun lock Amelia by just hitting her limbs. The fire paper and the Beast Blood Pellets are just give me so much extra damage as well.
Does she even use her healing move against you? No.
No, she was stun locked. She couldn't do anything.
That is amazing. See, again, this is the boss where I finally die.
This is your first death against
this.
The boss?
Yeah, so Cleric, Gascoigne, and Bloodstar was all first attempts. You can see how I made sure the footage. I made sure the footage showed the fog wall to my shame. But yeah, man, this
I can clip it out if you want.
No, keep it in. But this is such a difference in fights for me. I'm not dealing the damage you are at this stage. I'm not using any items. Like, look at that. That's a pittance. And eventually she'll use this horrendous healing move where it doesn't matter how hard you're hitting her during it, she will just keep healing.
It's good to see the two difference in the play styles at this stage as well.
Yeah.
How trivial this fight was for me in the end. I didn't obviously start off that way. I had a few failed attempts against her.
Yeah.
But you can see how much more difficult the fight becomes when you don't just go for her limbs and stun lock her.
Yeah, I didn't even know about the limbs at this stage. I learned that from much later bosses, but at this stage again, because we knew very little about this game going in.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this thing. Like you wouldn't expect this to be an easy fight either. Like this is a huge reindeer wolf or something like that.
Yeah. Have you seen that new Smash variant called Multiverses? They claim to have an original character called Raindog. It's Vicar Amelia. Yeah, it's Vicar Amelia. Basically, it's a green.
Oh, here you get a stunlock. Actually, you get a.
Oh yeah, no, I get the visceral here, and I just kind of go.
Nice.
I didn't know how I got it. I just got it. But like, I mean, look at the difference in damage output there. But yeah, it's basically Vicar Amelia, but small and fat.
Small and fat.
Yeah, and green. But but the main design is there. And to those, as I was mentioning later, Vicar Amelia is going to get this health bar a couple of times against me because she will heal. But I only found this out much later. There's an item that will just cancel that completely, and it's basically for any enemy healing.
Oh,
it'll cancel out the numbing mist.
Numbing mist, yes.
If you just chuck a vial at it while she's healing, it'll just stop. Again, there a whole idea of dodging into that big claw drag, while instead of just ducking away, because if you duck away from it, you're gonna get caught in the follow-up. Like,
this fight is actually horrifying when she's doing her attacks and everything.
Yeah. Oh, this became an actual boss fight for me now. Like, the other ones were like all beginners look like, oh, I just kind of happen to be falling through it. Like,
she's doing her healing attack now, is it?
No, she'll pray. Yeah, here.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
And look at the speed that shoots up, and you run over and you start realizing you're hitting her, and like that's at least a fifth of a health bar even after I've hit her, and she's gonna do it again fairly quickly. And I run over. Yeah, I see the hands. I don't even. She still gains, even though I'm constantly swinging because I run out of stamina. She's still gaining, even if I hit her every single time. Again, if I had numbing mist, or I did have it, I didn't know what it did.
Yeah.
We would. But now she doesn't heal after this. So what was a 20-second boss fight for you is about 4.5 minutes for me of pure dodge. I think it was after this fight I started thinking, right, God, I need a new weapon.
Yeah. Like, it looks like a slug compared to like when you stun lock her.
What you were doing.
And like, in fairness, like, it's horrifying this boss.
She's just everywhere, and it's the rags, it's the claws, it's the noise. But my God, I love every part of it. There's a guy giving you a well done message just there if you want to read it, but I would read it after the fight. if you've never played a From Software game, if you're playing in online mode, which is what 90% of people do, you can leave little messages for people. Most of them are trolling you. And some after boss fights say well done. And if you're playing Elden Ring, they suggest putting your finger somewhere. That's a bit of an inside joke for anyone who plays Elden Ring.
I love those fucking messages.
Oh, I love them. But the thing is, there was reasons to put them down. There was
for people to help each other, because these games are so fucking
unforgiving and
non-helpful.
But there was a reason, like, if you put it down and someone approved it, even if someone actually marked it as a bad message, you, in Elden Ring, I know for a fact anyway, because I haven't tried it in Bloodborne, you got healed. You're just walking around and your health bars and full. It's like, no, it is now.
I've gotten a heal once or twice from a message that I left in Bloodborne, but I've done it loads of times in Elden Ring. Yeah. Nice.
Yes, that was a
you deserve
well
that
fought. Oh man, that was just way too dragged out. Now, who is this?
Oh, this is. Oh, look at me with my.
This is a dungeon boss,
and I've got the Holy Moonlight Sword now.
No,
so, yeah.
That's Ludwig's. Ludwig's Holy Blade.
Ludwig's Holy Blade. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, Undead Giant, I remember him. So these are you would have seen it after we killed. I think it was Bloodborne Beast. We got a chalice as an item. And basically what chalices do is you can go into these things, what we're in right now, a chalice dungeon, which is just a really simple, I say simple, but it's enclosed area that it brings you to, where it's like, find the lever that opens the boss door. And you progress through, you fight the boss at the end, and you continue going down for better items or experience. And they're really fun.
They are, but they're mainly just for getting blood gems, aren't they?
yeah, that's the thing. They're not pivotal to the story. You can complete the whole game without ever doing one. You went for the backstab there, it just wasn't.
It just
didn't recognize that you were directly behind it. But yeah, they're mostly for blood gems.
Still didn't really understand the backstab as well.
I am still to beat when you come across the Undead Giant a second time in a much later dungeon. I still yet to beat him. I think if I went back now, I could. I haven't tried since, I'm gonna say 30 to 40 levels less than what I am on now.
Is he different from this guy?
Yeah, you see the spikes sticking out of his back. He uses them as an AoE chain attack, and so basically he'll roar and like there'll be a massive whirlwind of chains.
Oh, okay. So you can see me like spinning around and stuff like that. I think I fought him a crap load of times before.
Yeah, I remember you texting me going, "This guy is kicking my ass." I was like, "Wow, I beat him."
Yeah, you bet like first try. I was like, "Oh
yeah."
God.
Again, it was just one of them ones where I walked in. Yeah, here we go. Look, I'm opening the gate, which is the equivalent of a fog door in these things. But again, it's not clean. That's the thing. All of my boss fights where I do these, if I do any of them first attempt, I'm gonna come across as such a dick in this video. Keep that in. It's just like I stumble through it. I'm going to get hit. You can see I came into this fight with 13 blood vials because I had not farmed in a long time. I had finally run out, and I'm using them right. I said I am not scarce. I'm not afraid of using all my blood vials, while you're much more of a I'll be conservative and gain it all back through damage.
Well, I think I became conservative because I was dying so many times that I was like, I'm not wasting these things.
But like I'm after wasting 2 there because I got hit, and I'm still testing out can I parry him. He's on his 2 feet. I should be able to, and I think you can. I just made a balls of it.
Okay.
Look at this. I've used, I'm gonna say 4 vials already, and he hasn't even. I'm definitely not about to use 2 more. But you can see again, I'm also using the Holy Blade at this time, but I'm using its non-heavy form. I'm using its single hand form, while you were using the heavy version. To those who, again, don't know Bloodborne, each weapon has 2 forms, usually. They're called trick weapons, where by pressing L1 you can switch between 2 different styles of every weapon. In Ludwig's Holy Blade's form, there's this one, which is one-handed. I think, yeah, again, I get the stun there as well, but don't get the visceral. Oh, I do actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then the second form is the heavy blade that's on my back. He sinks that in, and it's much more of a sweep, heavy attack, which Ryan was using, I believe.
Yeah, it actually has a really good trust attack, which is what
Yes.
makes it really good because a lot of enemies are weak to trusting damage for some reason.
You can see I was terrified of making a balls of that. He had one hit and I still jumped away to heal just to be safe.
In fairness, though, first go straight in, can't complain. This is the second
Yeah, this is the
boss in this
trio, isn't
dungeon.
it?
Yeah, the Merciless Watchers. Yeah, yeah.
I did die to these, and at one under was I was fucking about with the last one, just basically bantering him, and then he clipped me once and I died. Exactly the thing I
Oh
was
no.
afraid of with the Undead Giant, and I had to go back and beat them the second time.
They can like just burst into a flurry of attacks. These ogre things.
Yeah, but you're doing the best thing ever here. Is there's three of them, and aside from when we were talking last night about in one of the areas where you get home, they kite up behind each other here, so you can just basically Sparta against the Persian army this and just bring them into a single file and they can't do anything about it. Numbers mean nothing.
Yeah, you kind of have to like when you get overwhelmed by tough, well, yes, bosses, tough enemies like this, you kind of have to. And I wrecked
You got
the
to go
visceral
parry
there.
there. I know, but you still got it. But again,
Yeah,
you're doing the right thing here, so you're backing up and you're like, I'm going to just take the guy one on one because now they're not hard. You
I
basically
didn't do it
saw the
again.
movie 300 and said this is the way.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed those two visceral attacks there.
It's kind of like if you're on the stairs and they're above you. Yeah,
Three.
again, it's
Oh,
like
okay.
if you're on the stairs and they're above you, the difference in height is costing you
You're
here. I
too
think if
far
you're
away.
standing
Like,
above, yeah, I think if you're standing above them, if you're in the position they were in, and they were staggered beneath you, it'll work.
I think that's why I
But
changed back to the heavy mode as well. I was like, it was working, but it wasn't.
yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, this is like this boss is, I say boss, this dungeon layer boss is
Yeah.
really a whole case of just take them on one at a time. Just beat one, and then the boss fight becomes significantly easier. And then the second one, when the second one's gone, it almost becomes it's like taking on a normal enemy.
Yep.
There's a really good encounter with three hunters, which I don't think we took footage for at a later stage of the game. Where my God, you just have to like. I think I got them on my again just as I ran through. I managed to kite them around and get them. But it can be just a thing where kill one, they'll never respawn, and then on your second or third attempt, you'll get the second one, and so on.
Three hunters. Where is that again?
It was at the when you go back to the Hypergen jail,
Yeah.
but it's not the Hypergen jail anymore.
Oh, down the stairs, is it?
Yeah, well, one of them was downstairs, and two of them were where the bagmen were, and
I
basically one
actually
of them has
don't think I've
electric
gone
attacks.
down there.
I think no, it's in the main area. If you go back to that area, they should be there. Now you'll walk them at this stage, but at the time, they were really hard. Um,
Don't know what I was doing here. I
yeah,
think I was trying to get behind them.
yeah. Again, this is what I had the gun guy left as well, the Watcher, and I was just fucking with him. I was like, he's only gonna shoot me. He's not gonna do anything. And
Yeah.
he swung that lantern at me, and just I don't know how
I'm actually getting nervous watching myself. What was I doing?
the hitbox managed to clip me, and he just walloped me 3 times over with a lamp and killed me. Yeah, man.
I think I had sweaty palms at the end of
There's,
that.
you can see you got another chalice that'll bring you further down. Yeah, and again, this is me going in with because I bantered them the first time.
Yeah, but I think your run here is a bit more. It's a bit fancier, let's say.
Sure, isn't that just us?
Visceral. Oh,
Yeah, he's not gonna hit me.
just
Yeah,
when you say
yeah.
it.
I'm fully aware that I get hit. But you see that you can get the visceral cover on even ground, and look at the damage that visceral does.
Yeah.
This is not a difficult fight. This is just one down ones where you just run up, wait for him to come up. I'll visceral the first one who comes up, and this is it.
I found out recently what governs the damage that you get, or what determines how much damage you're going to do from a visceral attack.
Oh,
So
really?
it's your level
Yeah.
itself, your thrusting damage of your weapon, and your skill stat.
Oh well.
They're the three things that determine how much damage you're going to do in a visceral attack.
That's cool. You can see much now at the stage I'm at now in the game. While we're still recording, we're still finishing the game. I'm pumping points into skill because it was so neglected at the early stage by me.
I think
And
as well.
my newest weapon loves skill.
Yeah,
See, I can't get the visceral on him either. Well, I wasn't quick enough.
because of the stairs.
Well, I wasn't even. I was walking away as I got it, which again is one of the reasons I love the parrying system in this game compared to other games. I got that parry there. I was about 8 feet from him. While in the other games, it's all shield based.
Yeah,
and
you have to be
get that.
right on top of them.
Yeah, and it's basically like if you miss a bullet in this, nothing's gonna happen. He's still miles away.
Parries are really satisfying in the Dark Souls and Elden Ring, though.
Yeah, I need to get through it. If we had our playthroughs of our Elden Ring, I never did. You used it a few times. I never did.
Yeah, the buckler shield really helps. Like one of the times in Elden Ring I decided to really go for parries was against the Carrion Knight. I don't know if you remember showing you that video.
I remember the Carrion Knight.
I struggled against him for like I know you can just run past him, but I was just like, I'm gonna kill this guy, and it took me like 3 nights.
He did kill me a few times, but I remember like I was using that weapon Moonveil at the time, and it's just like I can get him if I just be calm.
This guy was an absolute cunt. I don't mind saying that word against this guy.
No, not at all, man. And I know what you mean.
This one was a sweaty palms fight for me.
Each dungeon has 3 bosses, and this is the final one for the first one. I think you said you've done something there, and I think again he's a limb boss. I think if you can see one of his limbs now has gone on fire. I know his back is, but like primarily his front leg. That's the one you've damaged. I think he'll topple over if you target individual limbs, but it will only happen once per limb.
I think once the limb is exposed, you can do more damage to that
More
side.
damage, yeah. But
this guy was a real learning curve for me. He was aggressive, and his movesets were really confusing to me. I couldn't determine like how to get in close.
See, like that move he hit you with just there, that scooping neck. Any standard enemy, like they would come in directly for you, and you think, oh, I'm going to do the thing I've learned the whole game, or dodge into it, like you always do, and his neck comes around.
Yeah.
And
I should have dodged right there, but it's hard to determine.
You want to go away from the way he's falling in that particular one. But again, it's counterintuitive because the game is great at doing that, like teaching you to do this one way, and then just throw you a curveball just to annoy you.
Exactly, and I think this fight for me was a lesson in stamina management as well. Like I was using the heavy version against this guy at first, and when I was
then you had nothing to dodge.
Yeah, exactly, and you need to dodge against this guy. So here was my chance. Whenever he does the little lava spew, you can get in and get a good few hits on him.
And you got stomped on.
Yeah, if you don't get stomped on.
But like again, if similar to Father Gascoigne, I do think gets to a point where he just keeps hitting me and I can't get up. But
I started using the bone marrow ash here, so what that does is it increases the damage output of your sidearm.
Yeah.
And I think I even get like a head explosion or whatever, like a really high damage to his head at one point.
Man, the fact that you're running, I know you complete this, but the fact that you're running around with that little health is giving me massive anxiety.
Yeah, me too.
Just you've 18 vials, just used one. Like what? Why are you? Who are you showing off for? You didn't know you were putting this footage up at the time. wait. Actually, sorry, you did. You had the sole purpose.
So I think I start using the bone marrow ash here to greater effect. Ooh, not
yeah.
yet.
This reminds me of my fight against Vicar Amelia. You are so like, I'm not going to get killed. I want to go in. I just want to chip it.
Oh yeah, you gotta dodge away from that explosion. That's an insta kill. I think at that health.
The first time he ever did that to me was the first time I got into this stage of fight. He was on and you'll probably see it on my run through. He is a million miles away, I didn't even realize that was a thing until you said the next day. He's like, "Oh, I got one shot by that move." I was like, "What move?" But again, this is a typical. I've gone down half health. I've now got new moves.
There's the head
Yeah,
explosion. I could have went in for the
that's a
visceral there,
visceral. Yeah.
and I totally just didn't.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
almost got too greedy there as well.
it is a thing about these games. Like you can
You can
get
see me
too
using more
greedy.
health potions now as well. You can see it's like I feel like I'm gonna get the win this time.
Yeah, but like look at that health. I mean, you can't even see it. You just you do what I did against the first 3 or 4 bosses, with just
Well,
finish it off
actually,
with that bullet.
that was with the bone marrow ash, and you could see the damage there was like 600. Okay, so we're back, and it's Ian's turn to fight the Watchdog of the Old Lords.
Yeah, and
Not a great start.
no, immediately get flattened, and you can see how well prepared I was for this fight, because I'm running in and it's like, hey, fire dog, best thing to chuck at him, a glass full of fire, basically. Throwing 3 Molotov cocktails, and I was just like, I don't think I used them. I hope I don't, for my own. Let's
Maybe you
call
did
it
in a
image.
previous attempt, and it's just a hangover, like.
I did not make mistakes in the previous attempt.
Did it take you many attempts actually, or?
I think this was my second or third. I think this was my third. I'm gonna say third attempt. And you can see I'm not learning much, because like what I said in the very first video, don't get caught in scenery. And immediately, for the sake of hitting a few limbs,
It nearly cost you there.
yeah, look at that health bar. He booked as well. If I was an inch more, the hitbox could have got me there.
Now you're trying to parry there. I'm not sure if it
No.
works. I think my one worked because it was the overloaded.
I have another health bar where we just got them. Yeah, I'm sorry to start talk over you there. It's just like, again, no health. But yeah, I know what you mean, and I think it was because these are all early attempts. You always want to give it a go. Like, it doesn't matter if you make a balls of this. Like I said, this could be the. I say this was the third attempt. This could be the 300 attempts. Who's to know? You know.
Mine was closer to 300 than yours.
Once you get past the first attempt and the fog doors there's no proof.
That's true.
But I want a hand on my heart, Scout's honor, say that this was about third attempt. But again, it doesn't matter. If that's what I love about these games. It's like you can just keep trying. If something takes you 3 minutes or 3 hours or 3 days, you get through it at the end.
Sometimes like, the 3-hour ones are more satisfying when you beat them, because you know you've learned, you failed enough to learn how to beat them, like
how to do it. Yeah, like we talked at the very start about the other games, and like Sekiro, in that one it teaches, as I said to you, it's completely different. It's all skill based, but there was one boss. It's completely optional at the end if you do a certain NPC quest line.
Yeah.
And it's called the Demon of Hatred, and it is. They decided, let's just throw a Dark Souls boss in here. It has nothing to do with
oh, it's actually like
parrying.
A monster or whatever, like.
Yeah, and it's about 3 stories tall, and in the middle of this open field, and it's just like has nothing but fire AoE attacks. And yes, you can parry it again, but again we were talking about earlier about that AoE attack. That didn't even phase me because it was all the way over there.
He was like wedged in the wall.
Yeah, but yeah, on that demon, that took me, I'm gonna say, 3 days to beat, and when I beat it, I just put the controller down, and I just had to just take a minute, just like, and breathe. It was less relief and more just like, oh my god, it's over.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I enjoyed every minute of it. It's a weird feeling that these games bring out in you, and it's fantastic.
You like come back for more, like, and I've actually had it like some evenings where, like, say the day before, I fucking failed so hard at a boss, and I knew the next time I play, that's what I'm getting into, and you kind of like it nearly kind of like you're like, oh, it's like, fuck, I have to go after this guy again. But when you finally get them, it's like the most satisfying feeling.
Oh yeah, it's a thing, because I remember like with Vicar Amelia, you had, I think you beat her the next day after me, but I remember I was going to bed and I'd already failed about 4 or 5 attempts on her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to do it this time. And I just before bed I said, I'm going to try it one more time. And I did it, and I was able to go to bed nice that night and sleep soundly. Darkbeast Paarl.
Darkbeast Paarl. I think it's Paarl.
Paarl.
But yeah, this is another limb boss, and
another AoE boss.
And I think this one took me a good few attempts, and it wasn't as easy as Vicar Amelia. He's a bit more aggressive from the get-go, and I didn't realize that you could stun lock him much easier than what I found anyway. Like, apparently if you just get the first unlock, you can go around to each other limb and he will just stay down. See
exactly what you just did there. But
yeah.
that's the thing. That's the great thing about this video compared to like other YouTube videos. Like, you want to see someone go in and just decimate it like a robot, take out all the limbs. Like, yeah, you can find 200 people posting that video. You want to see someone go in there and absolutely ham it to the end and somehow struggle and getting smacked around. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're the niche market in this videos.
We will fail for you.
Yeah, like show you like this is the real Bloodborne experience.
I think at this point I was like, after losing a good few times to him, and I was like, oh please.
Well, you had 18 vials. You were in a good position here. The only thing you're afraid of is getting one shot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I couldn't even see what was happening there. I was like, oh yes, I got.
You're like, oh, it's done. You see, you can't get into that mode where you don't look. The best thing to do is not look at the health bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you'll see it that it's like, once you realize, oh, this is the first I've ever gotten in this attempt, suddenly you forget every basic control.
Yeah, once the adrenaline pumps in, you start to panic more and do stupid things. That's why they say the first attempt is usually...
That attack's bullshit. I dodged out of that, and then about half a second later I got hit. Like, that I want on the record, that attack's bullshit. I immediately doing the standard thing of running for my echoes.
17,000 at that level as well was probably really substantial.
Yeah, at that I think that was nearly a level up at that stage.
I'm not willing to level up, I'd say.
Look at the little damage I've done so far. 17 from a bullet, I think it was like 80 or 90 from a standard attack.
Yeah, I think locking on for Paarl is not a good idea. Like this.
Yeah, it is that thing where like somebody
is hard to hit compared to his limbs.
And again, and the limbs is what's more open. They see there 400 on one attack there.
Yeah.
But it is a thing. It's, again, these are things that you just, from multiple attempts, like, why is the lockdown so bad on this? And then you realize if you let go, it's much easier just to look around, attack that back leg or flailing arm. I think I knew there was an AoE attack coming there, and I said, you know, there's no way of getting out of it. I might as well just keep waiting.
I've done that a few times against him, where I'm just like, please get the stagger before it happens.
I think I tried. Yes, I managed to get a heal off there. You get the classic no health.
No health, Ian survival.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to figure out some kind of name for that. But I think I managed to get a heal vial off just in time.
Oh, nice, you got double stagger there. Yeah, you can see like you're just missing his hitboxes there because you're focusing on
locked on. Yeah, exactly, and everything was going for the spine. Again, I'm trying. Like, maybe if I shoot him once, he'll just fall down.
See the way he charges up like that? When you do the stagger, it actually knocks him out of that like
that mode. Yeah.
Yeah, so his attacks are actually less damaging and he moves slower as well.
Yeah, and you can see now that he's in the second stage, every attack he does leaves a lingering attack that travels along.
Yeah, like
the ground.
The little AoE attacks and stuff.
Yeah, like there. I think it's when he does the discharge of the main AoE attack, that's when he goes back to his powered up form, and he's doing it right now.
No, he's still powered up, I think.
Again, no health.
Jeez, yeah.
I don't realize how much of a trend this is until I look back at the footage and go, oh my god.
It's a testament to your vitality, like you have to
put points in vitality. I think I must have about 10 or 14 points more than you at this stage.
Yeah, it was. I'm a sucker for
strength.
Putting, yeah, I just want to put damage on my guy. I don't really care about health.
Yeah, and I was like, no, if I can survive more hits, it's better. I do think I actually stagger him for a visceral. I don't think I get it all, but it's using that standard. I have Molotovs there. I'll use them if I feel like it. Mindset. I don't. Nice. They could be the same for here.
Staggered him there. And discharged.
I think I throw one at him in a minute, and he immediately falls back down. It might be right here. Yeah, and
Nice.
he treats, and it just, I think I think it's because he moved. I hit him in the arm, and then I got greedy and missed that last one. But
Oh,
at
nice.
this stage, it was.
Oh, it would be so nice if you got the visceral there for the finish.
I know, and again, it was a massive win flick of the cape.
Oh,
Oh,
this
you have my.
I threw this in. This is mine and your differences with dealing with Jura. So
So, for those of you who will learn, Jura is an asshole, and he stands with that gun behind me, shooting you for this entire area if you're not behind cover, and it warns you not to be here. He, in all fairness to him, he does warn you. When I finally got a chance to confront him, we just got into this slug fight, and yeah, he decided he doesn't want anything to do with me and just eats himself off. And, I was concerned I wouldn't get dealt the kill, and then eventually I got that because
here's
much more
my
civil.
version of events. This doesn't automatically happen. If you just go up there, he will fight you initially, but after you beat Darkbeast Paarl and you go up there, he will ask you a question. He basically wants you to leave the beasts alone.
Wuss. See, now I go in there and I kick the shit out of him and his beasts.
The only difference of the two uh, versions of this event is that doing it this way, you'll get an emote to use. Other than that, it's the same. You can get
And
the rewards
you do
for
it
the
my
weapons.
way and you get pride. You
Well, you get
you
the
get
blood echoes as well, I suppose. Actually,
you get the job well done satisfaction of knowing that he just straight up threw himself off a clock tower rather than fight me.
and look at
He
that
did
moon as
not,
well.
I repeat, did not kill me about 18 times before that happened.
He killed me about 18 times without even going up to him.
No, man, once I got up there, he's so strong for the area. I wasn't ready for him.
Yeah, in
I
fairness, random
that
hunters
Ian
in
look.
the area are just the hardest in
And
this game.
there's actually another hunter downstairs, down at the bottom of that tower, wanting to fight you while he's spraying you with bullets. This was, in my opinion, the worst boss fight of the game.
Yeah, it's super easy. It's a kind of a gimmicky boss fight. You just have to find the invisible boss and just attack the
Like,
shit out of him.
they'll flicker with like a red light after you find it the first time and it disappears. It flickers with a red light to let you know we're up here. And there's actually two. That's the thing. Like sometimes you'll find one and it's not doing any damage to the health bar, but what there is there's a hidden health bar behind, and they will revive each other if you wait long enough. But
One thing you
no,
can do as well, I've seen from a speedrunner, is what they do is they can stun lock them, go up behind them, and just keep on doing the heavy R2 attack, and it just keeps them in a locked. They just can't teleport out, so they'll just keep on staying there.
and see there's that red light and that weird ear. By the way, I'll give it to it. Although terrible boss fight, the music and the sound quality in this boss fight is amazing. That eerie kind of operatic singing.
Yeah, in fairness, the
is
music in this game has always
is
been
fantastic.
unbelievable. I'd say as well, if you were kind of new to the Souls games, you might be a bit freaked out here. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm
And
killing these
the longer
enemies and nothing's happening.
you leave this fight as well, the more enemies will appear. And I think even a third witch does appear if you leave it too long.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if it's a third or if the original one gets respawns,
The
gets
original
healed
one
by.
does get revived for sure if you don't kill the second one fast enough. I think it even happens to me here.
Yeah, see, you're not doing. I don't think you're doing any damage to that health bar there. My load bar is a bit in the way, and that's because you're actually fighting the second one. And you can see there are just two. Oh, sorry, apologies. That first light was just the standard enemy.
This was the
But
real one here.
yeah, like I really, there was nothing majorly fun or exciting about this boss fight. It was just like run around the area. You are clearing out the enemies as you go. Me, I just ignored them, and it did nearly cost me at one stage. Um,
Yeah, I just thought that they were handy enough to take down just a full
oh
combo and you
yeah,
were
there
dead.
was no, but that was the thing. They were also handy enough for me to ignore them. You'll see that again massively with Rom the spider later.
This,
I
oof,
he has
I
so
was
many people
lucky
helping
here
him.
that there was no little enemies roaming around.
I did not get as lucky. I think I still survived it, but at the same time, it was just it was a consequence of ignoring them the whole ignoring the other enemies the whole fight. Yeah, like this fight took way too long in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a really
Like
long,
it was,
like drawn out fight. Like,
yeah, and it didn't do much. I appreciate a good gimmick boss as much as they're in Elden Ring as well, but no, definitely in my opinion the worst boss fight again.
I think Elden Ring has a kind of similar one. It's the
It's the
snail.
snail, yeah,
Yeah. That's
and it's
really
just
annoying because it summons like really hard creatures for you to fight.
yeah, and the thing is like it then becomes just a normal enemy.
So
So
here you
you go
can
into an
see
area
the
and
one
it
which
just
is being revived. So I'm dealing with that one again.
yeah.
I went down pretty quick, so it wasn't a big deal. And then this
Yeah.
was about to die.
No, yeah, this was just one of them ones where it's just like I was glad to get it over with and just move on to a better fight.
I think this was the first boss fight that I bet in one shot as well.
Yeah,
So I was pretty proud.
yeah. So here's mine, and I am perfectly okay with us cutting this. Like my run, and even showing just the consequence of when I ignore most of these enemies and get caught by your one spell.
Oh yeah, we'll still
Um,
watch it through and
oh yeah, we'll
see
watch
what
it
you do.
through now,
I can't
but
fully remember.
it's nothing different to yours. That's the thing I really disliked about this boss. Again, there was no two ways of doing it.
Yeah, we're even wearing the same clothes, I think, and the
Well, yeah,
same like
because it was
weapon and everything.
we hadn't bothered buying any different gear
Yeah.
and again, just the Holy Blade at this stage was, in my opinion, the best weapon available.
Oh, 100%.
We've split since, in the later stage. I'm using
Well, no, let's just wait and like people will see throughout the
more. Yeah,
video.
no, yeah.
When you watch later on the video, you'll see like the
Different weapons.
playstyles. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm using one and you're using another, and
Exactly.
they definitely match our personalities.
I don't know what that says about me.
I think you know exactly what it says about you, but no, yeah, this. My God, I just did not enjoy this because as I'm running around, I don't feel threatened. That
Yeah.
standard From Software boss feeling of you're constantly moving, you're constantly under threat, and your heart's racing. But there's just nothing in this fight because up until at the end, she doesn't even attack you.
Yeah, I
It's
think
only at the end when she starts
second
sending
phase,
that
is it?
stun. Yeah, I guess she sends that stun spell, which she does hit me with it, and I know she hit you with it. I just attacked that because it was annoying me at this stage. I
You
think I
waiting
was
for the parry
looking.
here?
Yeah, I think so. And then she
Yeah,
wasn't.
you are definitely.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't get it. All that for nothing. Ah, there we go. Do I get it? Nope. And then at that stage, I just got annoyed. I
It's
was
so
practicing my
frustrating.
parryings.
It's frustrating when you go for the parry and you get it, but they also hit you, so you're kind of like
Yeah,
stunned
that
from
happens a
getting the
lot.
visceral.
But the thing is, all that practice paid off because you'll see in later fights, I do get a lot more parries.
Yeah, in fairness.
I saw that one there, yeah, and they just decided I'm gonna move about 6 feet down.
I think you stun locked it from teleporting there.
Yeah. You
So yeah,
go me.
I think you get a couple of hits, and then if you can stun lock it from behind with the
Yeah.
backstab, it stops it from teleporting.
It. I know for a fact it was a feature in later games like Elden Ring, but even if you don't go for a straight parry, there was a poise meter, it was a hidden meter that every enemy had. Is basically if you continue to wail on it, if you continue to hit it uninterrupted, it would quickly rise and it would stun itself.
Yeah, it breaks its posture,
Yeah,
so
exactly,
you can
and
get a visceral attack.
exactly, and I do believe that is a feature in this game as well. I cannot confirm that because I haven't looked into it, but I've noticed it a few times where I've been just constantly hitting someone, and eventually they just in because of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, it looked like on the Undead Giant, if you got the right kind of a hit on him, he would
Yeah,
fall down to his knees, kind of. But I know for the big limbed creatures, that's their thing. The only way to stun knock them is hitting their limbs. I think you're about to finish it now. Oh, just a
no,
screen of
and
health.
I do believe they come back. This is
Oh,
yeah.
imagine
Look,
like,
there's
oh, if you had
3 of
died
them
here, that would have
because
been
I've been
so
ignoring them,
frustrating.
and if it wasn't for the fact that she grab attacked me, I think I would have died here. Because they're all attacking, but the only thing hurting me is her, and I just have this. I still have invincibility frames for a split enough second to get away.
Oh man, did you spam the fucking circle
button? Oh my god, I was hitting it as hard as I could, as fast as I could, and just praying at that stage. Because again, it was such a terrible fight. I did not want to repeat it.
Oh, stop. It would have been so embarrassing to have to fucking do this in 2 shots.
I did the Witch of Hemwick twice. You should have a trophy for that, and it should be a badge of shame.
You should get the badge of shame, like, we get the badges. Okay, so this is another dungeon.
We're back in a dungeon.
This is layer 2. And this was, so now you can see my favorite weapon in the game, the Whirligig Saw. I think I just got it. I went straight into the DLC and just ran to the area where it is and got it because I just wanted to use it.
My weapon is not for much later. You have to get very far into the DLC to get it. But yeah, I think this weapon suits you perfectly. It's just a lot of heavy attacks, a lot of mincing, a lot of very hurtful weapon.
I don't think you're going to even see me use the standard version of this weapon until maybe our second video when I fight Lady Maria.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I'd seen you use it at that stage. Actually, I think that was the first time I'd ever seen you use the Whirligig at all. I hadn't seen these footage. I haven't seen this footage. So
you haven't seen me use this one?
I don't think I've seen you in any of these dungeon bosses. So this will be new for me as well.
This guy was handy enough. This was the first attempt as well.
I say that, but I can't remember how my footage went. I say that and then we're about to see mine.
Yeah, we're about to see it now.
And I could be just battered around the room. Okay, first attempt.
Sure to put in the door so we could see.
Okay, first attempt.
You're still using the...
I'm still using the sword. I think it was much more fortified at this stage, so I was doing more damage. You can see that little symbol beside my rocks. I do more damage at this stage while at full health.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was wondering what
that was. Just a little thing I had for a blood gem, but which I got rid of later.
Now you switched over to the heavy.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, at this stage I'd learned to use R2 a bit more.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just hit me with that second.
I think it's worth pointing out that we tried to really like play this at the exact same pace as each other. Now we have like scheduling issues where you went ahead of me at one point, and you're still kind of a few bosses ahead of me.
Yeah, nothing major. Like you've caught up very quickly. But yeah, we were trying to keep it in sync so when we took on these bosses, we were of the same caliber. It wasn't like because this is a completely optional area. This is you know, you could come to do this when you're level 20 or 200.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we tried to keep it in sync. Like even now, even though I'm a couple of bosses ahead of you, we're still roughly the same. I think you're like level 80, so mid 80s, and I'm early 90s at this stage. But I've got 2 bosses on you, so.
Yeah.
So we're fairly in
sync.
Exactly. And as like scheduling, you went on holidays.
Yeah.
You were enjoying warm weather. I'm stuck here in Ireland. Which also had warm weather, but not the 40s that you were enjoying.
Yeah, that was a struggle. You're gonna shoot him to death here now.
Nice. Again, I'm not gonna even bother.
I beat this guy first attempt as well.
This guy is so shit in my opinion. He comes in with this big flare, like I've got fire. I think he hits me like once or twice with that fire, and a lot of the rest of it is viscerals and.
I think if I was to fight this guy again, after fighting Lady Maria, he would be a lot easier.
I think he one-shot him. I think he wouldn't even land a hit on you. I love the bull. I love the aesthetic the bull's paper gives your weapons. Like I want to point out that's not an electric sword, because if it was, I would use it non-stop. It's a finite item, the bull's paper.
Yeah, and if you want to get an electric sword, you have to really be an arcane build and farm the blood gems that give you lightning damage.
Yeah. So you got a visceral there.
Yeah, I just missed the timing of it because he staggered me as well.
Yeah. He nearly got you there, actually. We've been giving him all this shit, he nearly got you.
A few times, man, he nearly gets me. This was a bit of a sloppy fight.
I think I think he, at this stage, I was really getting into my parry stage, and he kind of fell into more my style of 1-1 shoot. I think I get at least 2 parries off on him. I definitely.
Go on, yeah.
I said I definitely think I finish him with a 1, which is always my favorite way to beat a boss.
You can even see here I've switched back to using the sword because I think I was afraid of not being like able to parry him with the whirligig.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It really is a speed based fight because he's using a single sword like a dex weapon.
Yeah.
While if you were coming in with the big one, if you hit him, it's great, but there's obviously going to be a much higher chance that he'll just clip you a few times.
Or dodge.
Yeah. You lost your lock on there, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I would have. I felt like doing a parry there in my own mind. I was like, parry.
Yeah. See, now you're looking back at it now, going, why aren't you shooting?
Yeah.
He's wide open. Oh man.
It's
again,
actually
if I didn't know you succeeded on this run, I would be getting really anxious.
Man, I fucking really...
That second flame should have killed you. I think you might have had just like a second of invincibility frames.
Possibly. I was sweaty palms here now. I don't know, do I kill him by just shooting him?
You're not using a pellet for this amount of fire. No, okay.
That was
if you had used a beast blood pellet just for that.
Desperate swings.
Okay. Now see how you really do it.
I'm sure you actually toast this guy, to be honest.
I'm really glad that all my attempts go second.
I think it might switch at some point. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Maybe because I do it first. Like, we get to a stage where you go away and then I start doing the bosses first.
Possibly. Or I think I have some other footage in as well of just some, like, hunter stuff where I didn't have to. I just wanted to show it and just talk about it.
Yeah. I also, like, I'm going to really push for, like, an arrogant persona online.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna make a lot of snide comments as we go.
Like you got
so
there's one already, like, from that visceral, like.
Oh well, that was it. Like, I really did to this one kind of felt into my. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah. This really wasn't. This was like Vicar Amelia for me. This played into my style a lot more. See, the thing, you had switched to the whirligig, so I was upgrading the sword at this time. He starts using the flame now when he only has about 15% of his health, 10%. Yeah. So he clips me a few times there, but other than that, I really don't think he caused me much issue. I think I get a visceral here. And
nice.
No, just
straight up wailing on.
Yeah, it was kind of like Vicar Amelia for us. It was just that one suited me a lot more. This guy was an asshole.
Oh man, I actually tried. I thought like, I'm gonna have to learn parries against this guy, but then I was like, no, let me just try the whirligig, and it was way better. Just the damage that it does is so good. Like
this one I struggled on more, and I really believe I went into this fight with, I'm gonna say, less than 10 blood vials and no spares in the storage. So I really was trying to be careful but at the same time that overcautiousness was costing me.
Yeah, his second phase is really aggressive as well. Like,
you
see now he has
throwing them weapons at him.
Now he separates the two, and he's just gets really like into it, like.
And except for you battering him to the ground.
Yeah, well, that heavy attack just stuns him.
This is like a complete contrast to the last fight where you're going in and just wailing on him and getting massive damage, and then you'll see me who has to drag it out a lot more than like you did in the last one.
Oof, I was getting afraid here now. I was like, oh, stop that, please. Oh, sweaty palms here. Oh, I think I just healed the time there, like.
Yeah, but
nice.
I don't fancy it. It doesn't. Once you get the heals in.
The face when he fucking dies as well. Let's see how your approach is. You're probably gonna get a few parries, are you?
No, not that I remember. I do believe this was a very I had 12 vials coming into this. I said 8 or 9 in the last one, but no, I go in and just realize I have not got his. I'm about a second too late. You can see I'm going for the odd parry. Oh, That is not one of them. I'm pretending like I didn't know that I got that. I genuinely had no idea I got that. But that throw, he clipped me with that constantly throughout this fight, and it's just so annoying because you try and you can see that the problem with getting one successful parry early on. You think you can do it all the time.
Yeah, and then as well, if you wait too long, he's like really on top of you, like with a couple of swings.
Yeah, exactly. But it is a risk and reward from there. Every time he done that run, I tried to get the gun out, and you can see like my bullets are going down. Like it's taking one from me, but not doing the shot.
He's inviting it, like he's inviting.
Oh yeah, it's that thing. He swings his arm back, and it's like, hey, shoot me. I was really hoping to catch him midair with that.
Oof. Those double throws. Really
Yeah, look, I'm down to like, I've used 9 vials at this point, and he's just under half health. This fight really gave me anxiety near the end. And
it's anxiety watching it.
Don't worry, spoiler, I win. But
oh man, he's such an annoying boss.
He's aggressive, he's quick, and he jumps around and breaks your lockdown. It really is that. And then he has that throw move. The throw move is what really annoyed me, because if you tried to get a few steps away from him to catch your breath, he just chucked that at you.
Yeah, I think the way I found out how to beat him from my style was I had to let him attack first, get behind, and then do an attack, which has kind of been my way the whole time. I think if you're using a heavy weapon style, strength build type, it's a good way to go.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm glad it didn't let me use that health bar. So now no vials left. A decent amount of health on both sides. Pure slogfest. I don't think I'm brave enough to use the parry even once.
Oh, you tried it there.
I did. Oh my god. I shot my. That's the commentator's curse right there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't think he's gonna do it.
He's not gonna score from there.
Straight into the wall.
Oh.
But oh yeah,
that's such a good like fight to watch actually though, because it's so tense. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just wasn't taking any chances with that. Just shoot.
Just the classic aim, get him. Okay,
the shadows.
This one was tricky enough. They're pretty aggressive from the get-go. But I used a little trick that I found out. That's why I did the chalice dungeon second tier before coming to this fight. I wanted the shaman bone blades. You can get them from the inside shop after the second tier of the dungeon.
Alright.
Let's see here what it does. I don't know if you've used it before.
I know what it does. I haven't used it, but I'm aware of what it does, and it is actually a good idea. But again, what I was thinking about...
I used it on the mage guy though, because he has low health. If I had used it on the others, it would have been much more beneficial.
Yeah. Plus, he's just annoying. The whole thing of the idea is like you have to fight those two while he's just sprinkling you with attacks.
There we go. Here, so now they all just kind of fight each other for a minute.
Yeah, that is a really handy thing. But the strategy for this fight, oh my god, that flip he just did, I never noticed that. That's amazing. The strategy for this fight again is similar to the Merciless Trio in the dungeon. Is like you take out one and it gets easier.
Yeah.
So like I put a lot of effort.
Guys, like power up or something as well.
Yeah, like I see they've now got snake faces. To anyone who again is new to Bloodborne or this whole game, this is at the end of an area called the Forbidden Woods, which is it's just an awful place to be. It's terrible. It's long, full of traps, and full of these snake enemies that just are so annoying. And it actually gets worse in this fight as you get to a later stage.
Yeah, you'll see now when I take out the next guy, these fucking snake things keep getting summoned. Oof, that attack is so hard to like predict.
Have you ever played a game called Prototype by any chance?
No, what's that?
It was an old, I think it might have been Ubisoft, but it was an old, basically, sandbox RPG, and you had these moves where you were experimenting on, you didn't know your own memories and all that, but you basically gained different powers, and one of them was like your arm was a big blade or like kind of a black mass, and one was a hammer, but one was a tendril, and you could massively shoot it out, and you could like latch onto helicopters and all as you pass by. It was a pretty good game on the early PS3 era.
I think
But
I remember seeing my brother
his
play.
whip out move there with that hand that he's just hit you with there,
Yeah.
that
He
it
does
gives
that
me
in that
such
game.
massive. Yeah, it's like I knew that was happening. Which, by the way, this is the first try, so I did not.
This
It
is
just
me.
gave me massive vibes to it.
This is me, I think, isn't it? Yeah, show me.
Yeah, no, as I said, but I hadn't seen your footage of this, so it was handy
you
that
hadn't seen my footage of this. Oh, cool.
No. You had,
struggled.
this is you post holidays, so this was you on your big catch up.
Yes, yeah. This was my first way back, actually. Yeah.
I think I was fairly drunk when you texted me that the Shadow of Yarnham was defeated. I think I was out, and it was about 11:30 at night or something like that. I'll have to go back and check. And you just text me like, "Oh, it's finished, it's done." They're justice. And I'm just drunkenly texting like, "That's great, man."
Here's the snake. I don't know if you've seen there, but at this stage in the fight, they start teleporting these huge snakes. There we go.
It was a
Ooh.
great shot of it.
I believe
Yeah.
they do enough damage to one-shot you as well. I'm not sure. Though. I
I
never
think,
hit.
I think one clips me, and I do get like a fair whack of damage. Just saying, first attempt. Just,
Yeah,
again,
no
another
fog wall
try.
again. Fair
I'm just
play.
gonna drop it in every time it happens. I'm just gonna drop it in. Again, I'm not saying I'm amazing at these games. It's just, when the
But I'm
proof's there,
amazing.
man. Nah, man, not at all. There's some bosses where it takes forever, and somewhere it just takes a lucky go. But again, I really did focus on. I think I focused on the mage a good bit at the start, because not only is he the most annoying, he seemed like the least likely to defend himself if you actually manage to catch him.
Oh, nice.
And these
Actually
are
going for
parryable.
parries. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I pull off a few.
Nice.
I get one there, but I realize I'm not going to get the attack, so I just use it to heal.
It's worth pointing out as well if you get a stance break like for the parry, even if you don't get the visceral, your next attack deals double damage.
Yeah, and again, even if you're swinging and you're like, I'm not getting the visceral on this, you're still getting free hits.
Yeah.
It's everything is always useful. Yeah, you can see I'm just not interested in the other guys for the most part, unless I think it's a free parry or something like that. I'm just gonna go for the third shadow, who likes to stay by himself, which makes it easier to isolate him for a few quick hits.
Yeah, the other guys catch up quick enough though.
I got very lucky with that dodge. I was jumping away from what I thought would be a magic attack, and the blade just missed me. And that jump. That's terrible when you jump in thinking you got hit and you just swing at air 3 times.
Yeah, you've already input the thing. It's like, oh fuck.
Oh, like I'm committed now. I think I'm thinking about healing. I'm looking at myself going, why haven't you healed that little bit? You've got such time to do it.
You were looking for the hits.
And I got it. As I said, this is all about aggression. This is about getting around them.
This
One-on-one.
pillar here is so handy to kite them around.
Yeah,
as well.
it really is, because especially later on when they get more flame-based attacks and the snakes. I was like, oh yeah, I was supposed to be attacking that one.
I think if you look at the health bar, there's like a little white area that you're just almost in. I think once you go past that, it will
That's
one
an
of them.
indication of the...
Yeah, it brings them into their snakehead stage, I think.
Well, he's definitely on it.
So yeah, they're all starting to.
Oh. Cool. This game he was like, wait, what?
I think then the snakes come when there's 2 dead or at almost that stage or something like that.
I'd say it's when the collective health reaches a certain point, which obviously if you've killed one, that's such a waste of it. I ran in trying to get the visceral there and got caught by the fire. But yeah, obviously if you've knocked one, if you've gotten rid of one, that collective health is going to be quite low. I've got 2 dying to be killed and 1 who's barely been touched.
Is it the candle guy that's not touched, is it?
Yeah.
Very frustrating to miss those viscerals.
You can see every time though it's because of the mage, and getting rid of him just makes the visceral easier.
Yeah.
I say that like I'm gonna get a few more. I'm not 100%.
Nice.
I say that and then immediately get one.
And then only the candle guy left.
Yeah. I think I do get it. Yeah, like he hits you with that, and I think he does. He starts summoning the guys now. I had no idea what was about to happen. Thankfully, I just happened to be on the right side. I think a good part in here is trying to get the parry. Yeah,
very hard.
Like that wasn't a fully connected hit, but it done a lot of damage.
I think when you get down to one guy, like it wasn't like that for me, but I think a good advice is to just be aggressive with him, because you won't give him time to summon those snakes.
Oh yeah, like you can see here, I'm clearly in a more worried state, but
yeah, you're almost finished the fight. You're like, I'm not dying here. Like,
no, I had enough knowledge to know I wasn't gonna go. I turned to the camera there and kind of started thinking, oh, we are taking footage.
Oh, this one was a little bit of a show off. I wanted to just show this fight against this hunter, who was a bit of a tough fight for some people. Got a nice visceral, and
just
then
walk up, shoot him in the face.
I think
wow, the damage you're doing is so
bullied
little.
her with the whirligig then as well.
Bullying women, disgraceful. We do not condone bullying women. There's one on the video.
Unless they're hunters.
Oh yeah, unless they're about to shoot tentacles out of their hands at you.
Well, maybe I didn't bully her after all.
I was about to say, bullying. She looks like she's bullying you. Okay. Oh, okay. That's good. I've never seen that. That's so good.
Yeah, it's fun to use that weapon.
Here's the celestial powers.
I can't remember what that is. That a Call Beyond? Is that what that's called?
I think so. Is that not an emo? Potentially is as well. I would just be shooting at that stage.
This is in Bergenworth College.
Yes.
Just for
and
reference,
behind you is one of the most ugly bosses in the game.
I actually read just today that the lore behind Rom is that he's actually originally a human.
Oh, no way.
Which is terrifying.
Cursed by this asshole.
Did you kill this guy actually?
No, and I found out you can with no repercussions, and now I kind of want to go back just to stab him and walk away.
I kill him here, I think. I was like, yeah.
So you bully women and old people in one video. Lovely.
Well done. Well good here off him as well.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
What did I get here? A gem or something? Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a rune.
Just looking down there at the creepy
centipede thing. I remember just trying to describe that to you from a dungeon while you were away, and you were like, "What?"
Yeah.
I like, it's like a tree centipede. You're like, "What?" I love this. Like, just yeet yourself into the ocean and be prepared. Now, I kind of feel bad for Rom a bit. Like, you look at you're there, that you're electrocuting all this.
The Beast Paarl here really helps.
He is just minding his own business. He doesn't even attack you until you do. You can walk up to him for ages. But this is another thing we were talking about, like with the Witch of Hemwick. You don't have to deal with these spiders. Like, they're there, and
I know. I hit one there, and I was like, it's gonna take a while to hit them.
Yeah, like you can clear them all out, and it'll make the fight easier then. But I mean, you can just as easily do exactly what you're doing now: run around them, run up to them each time, and just keep whacking them, which is what I did. But I've seen other playthroughs of people, and they clear every spider. Not because they're completionists or anything like that. They couldn't do it without it.
Yeah.
They just found that it was the way for them that was successful was to get rid of it. Yeah, he does hit hard. He doesn't hit often. He just hits hard. And he has these ice moves. Wow, that is so good. Just vicious.
I know, the Beast Paarl man is just amazing. Especially
I'd still to use one. We are
Yeah, no,
nearly
I think you
80%
asked
through the
me the other
game.
day, and you were like,
Yeah,
"Is
just
it for
yesterday.
your gun?" Like I was like, "No."
I saw pellet and I was like, I'm assuming is it just like a bullet? And you're like, no, it like plus 20% on attack or something like that. And honestly, I think we're about 80% through the game, and I still have yet. I'm still that's the thing though. You're still learning.
Yeah, indeed. There's loads of
It's like
stuff I
it's
haven't
same with
used.
Elden Ring though. I didn't use any items in that at all.
That's one
Just
thing about this game
I'm more
is,
skill based. You know what I mean? I just down to me and my sword. I'm so full of shit. Like, but
but one thing I actually think about this game, like if I go back to Elden Ring or another Dark Souls, I'll be more inclined to use items. I think because they're so helpful, like in this game
yeah,
especially.
it really is, and it's like it's not a purist vibe or anything like that. It's just, to be honest, I go in and the amount of times I'm just like, I'm gonna learn the pattern, and
Jeez, I was so
eventually
fucking
you just
close
kind of
there.
like fluke it anyway. You're
I
at that
tried.
stage where
I
like
was greedy.
yeah, like those ice shower moves that you just done there hits so hard, and at the health he's on now, if you were to die, it would just be heartbreaking.
Oh, stop. It happened to me in another boss fight that I was struggling and I was really raging hard
Was
over.
this your first attempt?
Yeah. Oof.
He did kill me once or twice, just with AOE's, and I think I did get caught by the spiders once,
The
where
spiders didn't really get me for some reason.
yeah, I think I tried to get sneak into them just a little bit too often, and they just, as I went to roll away, I just ran into three of them, and I couldn't move, and he just hit me with the AOE. I'm still repping the same sword at this stage. It is
Yeah.
not until very late into the game, only in the last two or three bosses that we've done as it stands, that
That
I've
you
switched
switched.
weapons.
What
Yeah,
did you get the Holy Blade up to?
plus 9.
+9. Okay, so you really took it on.
Yeah, it was next to perfect. It just, but as we found out only recently, there's only two, including the DLC. There's only two in-game resources that will get it to +10, and
Oh no,
the rest are
you can
in
buy
chalice
them.
dungeons.
No, you can buy them from the inside shop as well,
Oh, cool.
but only
Okay, well that makes
after
sense.
you beat a certain boss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was saving it for a weapon I really wanted, and this was doing the job at the time, but it was
Yeah.
still, I knew there was better ones out there, ones I wanted to try. And
In fairness, you were doing savage damage there.
oh yeah, it's again, I do think I kind of came to this boss a bit late, where I maybe should have done this one before some of the dungeons, or maybe the Shadow of Yarnham, because
Like, you have to
you
do
can
it
do
after the
no,
shadows though.
you can do Bergenwood College before Forbidden Woods. The only thing is that hunter
How?
makes the
It's
area
behind.
seem.
It's not behind the area after the boss.
I'm trying to think. Maybe it is. Maybe it
I
isn't.
think it is. I think you when you beat the shadows, it opens up the area behind, which
Oh,
is Bergenworth College.
apologies. But
No worries, no
yeah,
worries. I'm not trying to
I'm
school
still
you. I'm just reminding you.
bringing me down a well-deserved notch.
Oh man, those
But
spiders are so creepy. Oh, that's the worst.
look at that. See, I'm trying to get out, but I do have enough time
So
to get
many,
away.
so many spiders.
I do understand the need to clear some of them out. Like that is
Oh, I didn't know that those ice things came from in the water. Oh my
they.
god.
Some of them come from the air, some of them come from the ground. That's the thing. It depends on like if he rolls on his back, um, it'll come from the ground, and if he does like a slam down, it'll come from above.
So what the fuck happened to Rom to become that from a human? Like,
There's always some lore that he pissed off like another boss.
okay, now I'm really looking forward to this one.
I hated this boss.
This,
The amount of times I got greedy and died with no health when he had no health left.
indeed, this guy is a tough boss. In fairness, like, Kaner's Castle, really interesting area. Basically like Dracula's castle,
And
and the
completely
boss
optional as well,
is,
very easy to miss.
yeah, but like there's so much cool stuff here, like hunter's tools, good weapons, good armor, and a great boss fight. Like,
And a little extra hidden area after this fight, if you know what to do.
yeah,
Um, spoilers, that crown he's wearing, if you wear it, there a little extra room appears with another NPC. Which, as mentioned previous, makes me form an opinion on another NPC very quickly.
Oh, actually, I remember now. I actually do use the standard version of the Whirligig Saw in this fight as well.
Oh, really?
I think in the second phase I changed it up.
I don't think I've given you my
This
footage
is a
from last
backstab.
night. Oh, nice.
I fisted Logarius.
I don't think I've given you my footage from inside that room with the NPC since. I think I did it last night, didn't I?
No, you didn't actually, no.
I have it recorded, but I haven't trimmed it down to the fight.
Ah, yeah, no worries. Get into the next video. Oof. Just got
that was one of my most satisfying parries. I love doing them ones. Which is he gets up and he thinks, oh, I am God. I'm going to swoop in and divine judgment. I was like, no, I'll just shoot you in the face.
Oof.
Which, unlike the Descendant in the dungeon, he actually had a much larger parry window. Boom.
Nah, I missed it there. I think I had a second or two too early.
Yeah, I think like it's as he begins to swoop.
As well, I'm trying to parry him like from point blank, like an absolute window licker.
Like a legend, because you do it later, and I've seen you in later boss fights and you're doing it from point blank range. And you're bragging about your text me like, oh, check out this win.
I think when I texted you that as well, I was completely like ecstatic just from
on a high.
Yeah. Jesus, I was actually reckless enough in this fight. Oof.
That's a little thing in this boss fight. He will drop that sword down, stab into the ground, and create a constantly continuous AoE attack. But if you can just shoot it and destroy it, or run up and stab it, I think I run up and try and hit it and miss.
Nice.
And then have to go back and recover.
So I needed that pistol there. He was all over me.
Are
you in here? Oh, nice.
Yes. Double.
I think I just
that's so teasingly like I've gotten him to less than this health in 2 attempts beforehand, and I got greedy and he just one-shotted me.
There's nothing worse though, isn't there? Like when you just you get down.
I would love to just superimpose onto the screen the text I had to you that night when I was fighting him. Like, that prick got me again. You had no help.
I think this is a much nicer attempt from you in this one.
No, I will gladly hold my hand up and say, like, I beat him, but not in a nice way. Like, I think there's points of it that look nice, and then near the end when he's doing all his parts, it just did not. Especially when he stabbed onto the ground. There was one attempt where I tried to get rid of the sword on the ground, and it's just not good.
Oh, I remember actually showing me that before. I think you hadn't figured out that was the AoE was.
Oh no, I had. I just completely
had
missed. Yeah,
okay.
I ran in and like done a diving attack to get rid of it, and I just missed. Yeah, in this attempt, in all fairness, like what maybe one of the reasons why I was successful, he stood there a lot at the start, just doing those attacks over and over again.
Yeah, I found that in some attempts he was getting stuck in the wall a little bit. Not stuck, but he was just like camping there or whatever. Like.
Yeah, it seems like I'm after knocking him off that step now, and he starts to move around a bit. I decided to use a bit of ball paper. This is actually the fight where I started using a few more items.
See this power-up thing he's after doing here?
Yeah.
You might see it now if you shoot him. It probably it actually still got him. But if you shoot him, it will actually deflect some bullets unless you get the right parry window, I think.
Yeah, you see, I really was getting the parries down a bit more on that move.
His aura should go now after getting the parry.
Yeah, like he bounced that Molotov cocktail off.
Oh, it just bounced off? I didn't even copy.
Yeah, I actually never knew the reason there until you said that.
That's why I always tried to get the backstab when he was doing that power up.
Yeah, that was so annoying that the AoE pushed me away from it, that was really annoying me about it. And now I was convinced I was going to die. I think do I hit it? No, I missed it. And look at that again,
He like
no health.
defends and everything.
But look at that health bar again, no health again. Yeah, he's defending it that like a last minute goal on the 90th minute.
Yeah, this fight is so
Just like-
good. Like it's tense and it's like they're aggressive.
I always love these bosses more than the Limmy Beast fights. I just found like now I say that Ludwig was a great fight.
Ludwig was an unbelievable fight.
Yeah,
He wasn't really a limmy one. Like
no,
he
he
could
had
break
like
his limbs a little bit, but not not trivial. Like not like Amelia where you could totally stun lock her.
Yeah, I got so lucky there. I missed the parry, but he just completely missed me on the follow-up attack.
Nice. Yeah, you were getting a lot of nice viscerals on him.
I was so nervous because I had died so many times to him at this stage. And I just missed. I was like, come on, just hit him once more. And I got caught on that pillar and I thought it was over. And you just see me back away. Heal. And then he does my favourite thing in the world.
Nice, you had the timing down for those jump attacks.
Oh, but I've done him so many attempts at this stage that I was just desperate to get it.
You can tell like you're a bit more like skilled at fighting him.
Oh,
Here we
Amygdala.
have Amygdala, yeah, so this one is another obviously limmy fight, but the legs are not a weak point, it's the arms.
Yeah, you hit the legs, you're doing about 15 damage, while you hit the arms and you're doing a couple of hundred. One of my favorite things is his second stage. One of my favorite parts of the game was how he decides to do a second stage of this fight, because as you said, he's the definition of a limby boss because you actually can chop them off, or like they fall off.
I was so lucky there. Look at the health.
You didn't me. And yeah, you'll see it in a minute or so. It's like he once you get to that second stage, his front arms fall off, and he just decides, I'm just gonna pick them up and beat you to death with them.
Oh yeah. Jeez, I was so lucky
hey
in
man,
this
you're
fight.
pulling these last minute heals off as well, just as much.
It's quite hard to actually like see where you are in this fight, I think.
You managed to clip him right in the face there, and
Oh, I missed that. Oh,
no, you got it.
Still got it, nice.
Oh, nice, I got a visceral.
But man, I love the variety of bosses. Like we went from a big giant, the Cleric Beast, and then you're at oh sorry, I have to just appreciate there's the ripping off of the arms.
Yeah, he's holding the like huge like weapons.
Yeah.
Oof.
Like this boss in particular is great in a sense, like he's always around in the game but you never knew it.
Yeah.
He's invisible up until a very late stage of the game, and then or mid stage of the game, sorry, apologies. Look at this thing, something straight out of Lovecraft.
Oh yeah, this is pure Lovecraft boss. Like, look at this thing. Like.
But then you have like a Catholic priest who turns into a werewolf at the start, and it doesn't scale up with the game. Like some of the hardest bosses in these games are human based.
Yeah,
like Lady Maria or something like that, and it's just
like this boss is actually like this is only my second attempt. Like and
yeah, he's quite easy when like all you have to do is like he's that standard get underneath him, hit the limbs.
Yeah,
he can't really
like hitting him in the hand there killed him like like
yeah.
Ah. Okay, now let's see your attempt. This is first try as well.
Yeah, but I did have a slight thing. I'd seen some playthroughs of this game before, randomly, and I'd known what to expect.
Oh, okay. It does help, like when you know the gimmick, like it can really make a difference. Like
I didn't know that the limbs were the weak spot, but I knew he was gonna drop down. I think mentally that just gave it a bit easier. Like I didn't have that initial, oh my god, look at this giant thing hitting me.
At this stage in the game as well, you're after fighting a few limmy boss fights. You kind of know the story a bit.
Yeah, you can see there I immediately went for the legs. It didn't work. I hit a few arms and I realized, oh wait, this is the way to go.
Okay. Yeah, you're handling this guy pretty well. This is your first attempt.
Yeah, but again, it just really is like at this stage of the game, you're like, I'm just going to play it by ear. You can see I'm swinging a few misses here. I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm not using the lock on at all because at this stage I've realized it's all arms.
Yeah.
Like the head, the head, like I'm after actually catching the head there.
Do you get a visceral? Oh,
Yeah, I do.
nice.
But it's only
Nice.
because the noise it does that ding.
Look at that damage. 1,232. It's only doing like 10 damage to the legs, but 1,000 to the head.
That he's doing like a lot of impressive moves that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, it's a shame with the bigger beasts and stuff like that. You don't see half the stuff that they do. Good timing in the roll there.
Thanks. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I was just like, I'm gonna roll. He's after going up in the air. I don't know where he's gonna do. So again,
Nice.
same thing here. Just fucking roll.
There we are.
Yeah, man. Personally, I really like the aesthetic and his moveset, but as a boss, it was kind of fine.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, this one is the one reborn.
Yeah.
I think I did this first try, and it was actually very easy with my playstyle.
I did it as well. Now, I knew there had to be a way, and this is you'll see me run around for like a minute and a half straight trying to find these bitches
I
because you
didn't even
can
bother.
kill
I
them.
just went straight in and
Yeah, I
started
know,
attacking the limbs.
I know, and I
The old
didn't.
limbs.
That's it. Just go for the limbs. But I knew it would make the boss fight easier, so I was like, I'm gonna just go kill these. But maybe I thought I was thinking it wrong because I was taught like, oh, you can definitely kill them, and you see me running around and then just not finding the way up, and then just giving up and beating them just
Can you
as
go
it
up
is.
there though? Because I couldn't
Yeah,
find the
you
way either.
can. I've seen other playthroughs since
Okay.
doing this boss and seeing that you can, and it's so annoying. Basically, I ran everywhere but the staircase.
This is such a horrifying looking boss though, since it's like a pile of bodies all fucking
Yeah, it
plastered
almost comes
together
out
like a
slug-like.
Cronenberg or something.
It comes out almost slug-like until you see that it also has feet and arms made up of other bodies.
Yeah.
And there is almost like a driver in the front and back.
In the back as well, is there?
I think there's one on the back. I know it's obviously we can see the main guy here in the front, but I do think there's a guy leaning on the back. Like, it's just like riding the ass of it, saying, like, no, 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 go to the right.
Take the lock off there straight away. Get the limbs.
I love the spark
Look at the
animations when you go for
already
these.
into like a stun lock.
Look at that damage you're doing. Yeah, so basically if you were to go and kill all those bell people, what it would do is it would stop these fireballs. That's all it would do.
Oof. Didn't time that one.
What is that that's building up? Is that your beast?
That's the beast meter, yeah, so it's
In the
at
center,
maximum
okay.
damage now, like.
Jesus.
Look at the damage, like. It's just,
Yeah, I do a first attempt as well,
it's like
but
trivial,
again,
like, with the beast blood pellet, like. It didn't even barely do anything.
similar to the Vicar Amelia, like I will do this first attempt as well, but yeah, so ignore me running around for a minute and a half. And it's actually there on the far corner of where I was.
Where the stairs is.
Yeah, exactly. So if I went to the far right now, if I went right, but I think I go left. I look down and I think, nothing down there, and I go left. If I'd went right, I would have ran up and killed them. Eventually, I just give up. Yeah, you can see like my damage output is not the same as yours.
Oh, you're doing decent damage. He's already staggered.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Again,
where you're meant to.
it wasn't good stamina management in this fight by me. I think that this was a real case of I'm not going to use as many vials. I probably use them here, but a lot of the time it's just like as he hits me, I'm just hitting him back.
Yeah.
I love that there. Like his hand has a little foot, like a little extra
It's just
leg,
kicking
and
out at you.
he's just like giving you a little. And he's also just dropping corpses on you as you're fighting him.
I like your playthrough a bit more. I can kind of see what's happening. Like mine was just like smashing this big bag of bones, basically. Like.
Well, I hope anyone who sees this video likes my playthrough more too. I put a lot of thought and effort into it.
I think he was down for for a visceral there.
Yeah, I'm running for it desperately, and I
Oh, yeah, yeah.
just miss it.
It's really hard to see which is the front and the back.
I cannot be sure if I actually do get one and finish him off with one. This entrail thing, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Yeah, come on. The fuck catches me again. And again, I just don't get it.
Oh, nice, but he staggered him again.
Yeah. Yeah, again, this was a... I do think we came to this boss slightly late.
Possibly.
Oh, patches.
Oh, yeah, I threw this in just to talk about what an absolute abomination he is now in this game.
Patches is a great character, and by great I mean he's an asshole, and he's in every single Soulsborne game.
Yeah, he
I
always
cannot be
backstabs you.
sure if he's in Sekiro. I'm trying to remember if I found him, but basically he's just an asshole. So they decided to make him the vermin that he is, as by putting him as a spider. And he also sends you to Amygdala. One of the last few fights, he was like, "Oh, you want to go here? It's great crack." And then
Yeah, it's always cryptic when he talks. You just know he's up to something.
I didn't even know it was him until like this stage when I came down to him. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I was the same. I was talking to the guy laughing. He was laughing at you through the door on the other side
True,
before you get.
exactly. Yeah.
I wonder is it the same voice actor as it's in Elden Ring?
Oh, I'd say so. I mean, it sounds like him. Now, obviously, there is only so many voices in the world.
True.
You can kill him if you want it, but he becomes a merchant in the dungeons after this.
Okay.
I haven't found him yet, but I know he does. You're just sitting down. You want to listen to a story?
Yeah, look at him. He's a spider who's talking to me. How could you not be
Tell,
interested?
tell me a story of yesteryear.
All right,
Sit down, son, and I'll tell you a tale.
I think it's done now. Let's see what boss is next. Oh, baby. Ludwig.
Is this
You.
me? Yeah,
Fine.
it's the Holy Sword. This is me.
Yeah, yeah. This is probably like such a hard fight, but probably one of my favorite boss fights.
Yeah, I love him. And for those of you who can remember from the very start of this, we mentioned a weapon called the Holy Greatsword, the Moonlight Holy Greatsword. This is where you get it. He and the weapon I've been using this whole game, Ludwig's Holy Blade, is himself. Is named after this guy.
Yeah.
And I say guy.
Yeah,
He was a guy.
he's another Cronenberg
First
type thing.
first entity to roam the earth tormented.
Horse beast screaming. He's got like
Think
a shoulder cannon that's like also a mouth.
spews acid.
We were lucky there not to die.
We set down to 6 boss fights now at this stage.
Oof.
I do believe I find 3 blood vials to add to my total in midway through this boss fight. Yeah, I believe there's like a part of his ribs there, like halfway there. I think that's a weak spot.
The
I think,
sides definitely have a breakable type thing.
and I do believe it's just that area there.
Oh, he's got a little like foot in the middle as well. Can you see it?
Yeah, I love it. I love that one that's up on his hip, like
Just dangling
chilling.
like.
If in some way you were able to do an aerial attack in this game, that would be. See, I'm just running away to get like a bit of breathing space, and I find them. I was like, oh, handy, 3 vials.
Take it. Nice.
Yeah, you see, this is the part I'm talking about. If you hit that side, I'm convinced that's why you're getting that.
Oh, you didn't catch it. Whenever he like drags his feet on the ground, he's gonna do that rampage, and you just have to dodge to the side.
Yeah. Here's the cannon.
What even is that like white stuff? Like, is it acid or is it arcane?
I've never questioned what white stuff shoots out of the human body. I refuse to get hit by it in the face. That's just a rule to live by in Bloodborne and in life. Just try not to.
Jeez, your health is really like definitely in the right numbers here
Range.
because you took those rampages like a trooper.
But that was the thing. I remember like I was struggling so hard with this, and
Three of
because
them.
this is the first boss of the DLC, and basically I was like, what level? What's the recommended level? Is this an after game? How close to the end game do you have to be to do these boss fights? And I saw someone say that one of the main things to have for Ludwig is about 40 points in vitality. Now I am at this stage. I think I had about early to mid 30s because I just leveled. I spent the whole night leveling up
Nice.
just to put points in vitality.
Just to get ready for him.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad about your playthrough now because we're about to watch my playthrough of this first time I've ever seen this second stage, and I never to this point got past this, got into this cutscene, and there's a sword, and I just one shot it without ever really getting because I just hugged the dick. This in the strat, it's a strat I never thought I'd say out loud, but basically I just kept ducking in and he just kept missing me. I love that sword. It is
Oh man.
not suitable for my play style because I prefer quick. But if you like heavy attacks and you put points in arcane, that sword is class.
Yeah. And it even fires out your quicksilver bullets in its
In
second
like an
stage.
arc or a thing. Yeah, so you see now like well you got this, I got fire. So I just start hovering around here. And then it's just constant just in just and he just keeps he hit me that first one, but he keeps over swinging, see?
Yeah. I think you
And
need to
like
go to the sides though as well because he does hit his sides. Or go to the rear of him, I should say.
yeah.
Nice. With the grip pistol here.
Oh, always.
He's actually one of the bosses that when you hit him enough, he does stagger for a
Yeah,
visceral.
he has that posture.
Yeah.
I saw this and I was like, oh Christ. And just yeah, he didn't go for it. Right, well he missed.
Nice. Oh, I think we're one hit away. Oof.
He hits me with that one, and I thought if he hit me with that upswing, I was gone. But he just kept missing, and I was like, could I do it? Could I just on the first attempt?
Nice. The visceral
Yeah.
for the kill as well. So satisfying.
I had a really nice gem or rune, one of them at this stage where I think it was a gem, where every time I got a visceral, I gained health back, which was
Nice.
massive, and I still use it now. I
Look at me in
love
my
your
witch's
witch.
costume.
I literally beat me to it. I love the hat. You were dressed like you were gonna get shot with white stuff in the face. Probably not suitable for YouTube to say that, but probably cut that part. But
Cut.
can't use any of this. But oh man,
I love the whirly gig, man. It's just so satisfying.
It's such a you weapon. It suits your playstyle perfectly. We are, I'm gonna say 2 boxes away before I finally get a new weapon.
Here I predicted the rampage there, dodge left.
Nice.
Oof, didn't predict that though. So when he jumps to the ceiling, you'll see the blood dripping down. If you just literally run
Yeah.
away, he won't hit you. And then you can kind of gather yourself. Oh, rampage again.
So you can see like you mastered these a lot better than me.
Yeah, I've fought him so many times that I just learned his patterns.
But the whole do you heal through vials or do you heal through damage is such a shown in this fight because I'm using vials to constantly and ducking away while you're shooting through like the acid breath, taking the hit and
And getting the
immediately
health
getting
back.
back because of how quickly and savagely you're hitting them with the whirligig.
Now, this isn't my first time into the second phase. I did it a few times as well. You can
Hey,
see I'm
nothing
just
wrong
trying
with
to
that.
get behind him, just letting him kind of expose himself a bit before I take a hit, because the whirligig kind of leaves you exposed.
The funny thing is we're both fighting bosses simultaneously at this point. I'm fighting Lady Maria, I think, at this stage.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm 2 bosses ahead. Like you were in my ear, we were on chat at the time, and you were like, I'm doing really getting close on Ludwig. and I'm like, I think I'm gonna get Maria on this
Oh, I
run. I
remember
think,
actually. Yeah, you did. You bet the Living Failures and Maria like pretty quickly together. Like,
yeah, both of them were second attempts, but I almost wish I failed on Maria a few more times because I just loved fighting her.
yeah, I didn't feel that
You destroy her.
way.
I know, but you destroy her. We watch your clip, and it's gonna be act like you just walked in and just ran her over with a car. That was really well done on that second stage, man.
Yeah, in fairness, I just had the timing down at that point. Look at me, dusting myself off. Yeah, so that was Ludwig, and that's the end of the first part of the video. So if you liked that, give it a like and a subscribe, and keep a lookout in the next week or so for the second video to drop, where we'll be heading towards the end game and starting off with Living Failures and going all the way to the end of the game. Hopefully, we'll see how we do.
And we're hoping to get every boss, which includes Moon Presence, the final ending boss, if you manage to get the items. So we are aiming for that, and hopefully we can do it and not make an absolute hames of it. Dude, thanks again for sticking around for this first part.
And if you really want to see like a really good Lady Maria fight and a really good Orphan of Kos from Ian, especially he had a really good run against Orphan of Kos. I think it was on your second attempt, was it?
It was second attempt, yeah,
Second
and
attempt, and regarded as one of the most difficult bosses in Soulsborne games. So if you want to see
like
that, stick around.
I appreciate that, but I do think after Melania from Elden Ring, it battle hardens you for a few more of these ones.
Yeah, but I think
But I know
Melania is
I
like
enjoyed
different
it.
kettle of fish, isn't she? Like,
Yeah, the thing is, about Orphan of Cost was I'd heard about him. I'd heard like, oh, this is a tough fight. This one will be a struggle one, and I don't know why, but when you walk out, you see this. Like you'll see in a later video, like the sheer size of him when you walk out at the start in the cutscene compared to like what you actually fight.
okay,
He ends up being just like a guy. But yeah, so please stick around and can't wait to show you the rest of it.
yeah. So stay tuned. See you next time.